Namaste Gurukulian. Hello students, welcome back. Once again we are here with the second lecture of first chapter of class 9 mathematics, that is number system. Today we will discuss about irrational numbers. Exercise 1.1 we have finished. Now we will start exercise 1.2, but before that we will understand certain concepts. Irrational numbers. What are irrational numbers? The numbers which cannot be written in the form P by Q, where P and Q are integers and Q is not equal to 0. Just opposite of rational numbers. Irrational numbers are the numbers which cannot be written in the form P by Q, where P and Q both are integers and Q is not equal to 0. So these numbers are irrational numbers. We will take some examples of irrational numbers. Examples: the numbers which are not perfect square, their square root. Suppose square root of 2, because 2 is not a perfect square, so square root of 2, it is irrational number. Root 3, it is irrational number. Root 4 will not be irrational. Why? Because root 4 is equal to plus minus 2, which is integer, so that will be a rational number. So root 4 will not take. Root 5, root 6, etc. These are the examples of irrational numbers. Again, we can take the cube roots of the numbers which are not perfect cube. That will be irrational. So to prove that these numbers are irrational, this thing we will discuss in class 10. Now these numbers are irrational. Now second concept comes that how to represent these numbers on number line, because we have a number line which represents all the real numbers. Suppose I talk about a number line. So this number line represents 0, 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2, and so on and so on. To both the sides it can be extended indefinitely, and all the numbers, all the real numbers exist on this number line. Every number has a certain place at this number line, every real number. Suppose I put a dot here, it means this dot represents a real number. So every real number has a definite place on the number line. Or conversely, we can say that every place on the number line represents a definite real number. It means these are also real numbers, because all irrational numbers are also real numbers. So these real numbers can also be represented on number line. They are also having a definite place on number line. Yes, of course. So now we will discuss that how to represent these numbers on number line. Means representation of irrational numbers on number line. Now we will see representation of representation of irrational numbers. Irrational numbers on number line. So I want to represent irrational numbers on number line. For that we will follow a method. So first I am taking a number root 2, representing root 2 on number line. Then how can I represent root 2 on number line? So for that there are certain steps. So I am going to write the steps here. First step is to draw a number line. Draw a number line. Suppose I am drawing the number line here. So this is a number line. Suppose here it is 0. The unit which I take for number line, suppose I take 1 unit to be 1 inch. It means after 0 at 1 inch I will place 1. At second inch again I will place 2 and so on. It means this gap must be equal everywhere throughout the number line. So if this is 1, so somewhere here it will be minus 1. Clear? So first step is to draw a number line. Okay. Suppose I have drawn this number line. Now I will take, because I have to represent root 2, I will take 2 points A and B such that A is on 0 and B is on 1. Okay, draw a number line such that zero represents point A and 1 represents point B. Okay, so I have taken 2 points, A on 0 and B on 1. Second step, I have to draw a ray at this point. Suppose I am drawing a ray BX. So draw a ray BX perpendicular to the number line. It should be perpendicular to number line. It means we have to make a 90-degree angle here. So we can draw the 90-degree angle with the help of compasses. At this point we will draw the arc like this. Then from here 60, 120 and in between them we will get 90-degree angle. So we have to draw a ray BX perpendicular to the number line. This is second step. Third step, now we will draw an arc. Draw an arc. Whenever we will draw any arc, so we have to specify 2 things. First thing is the center of the arc where we will put the compass, and the second thing is radius of the arc. It means that how much the compass is to be opened. So I am drawing an arc with center at, I will take the center at B and radius equal to 1 unit. Radius must be 1 unit, which will intersect BX, intersecting BX at point C. So now I'll put the compass here. I will open the compasses up to 1 unit, put the compass here and cut BX. So it is intersecting BX at point C. So this AC, now see, this length AB represents 1 unit, this length BC also represents 1 unit. So 1 unit here, 1 unit here. If I apply Pythagoras theorem in this triangle ABC, so the length of AC will come root 2. This length will come root 2 by applying Pythagoras. This is the verification of this method. So you can apply Pythagoras theorem in this triangle ABC. So the length of AC will come out to be root 2. Now I know that this much length is root 2. Now what to do? Fourth step. Again I will draw an arc. I will draw an arc. Now I am rubbing this extra material which is not required. Okay. I will draw an arc by taking center at A, radius equal to AC, and I will draw the arc to intersect the number line at point P. So what is the step? Draw an arc with center at A and radius equal to AC, A to C, this would be the radius, intersecting the number line at point P. So it is intersecting the number line at this point P. So fourth and fifth step, this point P, because this length is root 2, so it means this length is also root 2. So the length representing root 2 from 0 will give us the place of root 2. It means this is the required point root 2. Point P is the required point root 2. It means this place belongs to root 2. It means root 2 lies here on number line. So this is the representation of irrational number root 2 on number line. So root 2 can be represented by following these 5 steps. Again we can see, first we will draw a number line, then we will take 2 points A and B, A on 0, B on 1. Then we will draw a ray perpendicular to the number line, that is BX. Then we will draw an arc by taking 1 unit radius and we will cut BX at point C. Then we will draw another arc by taking A as center, AC as radius, and it will intersect the number line at point P. So point P will be the required number, that is root 2. So similarly we can represent root 3 also. So how to represent root 3? Now we will see. Next thing, I am just rubbing this here. Again we will follow the steps. Representing root 3 on number line. Root 3. So we will write the steps again. Let us see how to represent root 3 on number line. Representing root 3 on number line. Okay. First step again, steps. First, draw a number line, so I am drawing a number line again here. So this is the number line, suppose 0 here, 1, then 2, equal gap you have to take. This will be 2, 3, here it will be -1. So this is number line. And again we will take 2 points, A on 0 and B on 1 as we have taken earlier, and take 2 points A and B on 0 and 1 respectively. 0 and 1 respectively. Okay, so on 0 we have taken point A, and on 1 we have taken point B. Same step as we have represented root 2. Second will again be the same, that draw an arc, draw a ray BX perpendicular to the number line, draw a ray BX perpendicular to the number line, Third step again will be the same. So I have to draw an arc by taking this B as center and radius equal to 1 unit, intersecting this ray BX at point C here. Let it be C. Third step, draw an arc with center at B and radius equal to 1 unit, intersecting BX at point C. This is the step. Now join A to C. Fourth, join A to C. Now this represents root 2, which we have earlier shown. Now this is root 2. If I take another ray perpendicular to this AC, now the fifth step, now you have to concentrate, this step is very important. Fifth step, we will draw another ray perpendicular to AC. Let it be CY perpendicular to AC. This is perpendicular on AC, so this angle must be 90 degree. Draw a ray CY perpendicular to AC. This is perpendicular to AC here. Now again we will cut 1 unit from this CY. So again we have to draw an arc with center at C and radius equal to 1 unit. Radius means that how much the compass is to be opened. So radius equal to 1 unit, intersecting CY at point Let it be D. We will give another name D. So we'll put the compass here. We will open the compass up to 1 unit, put the compass on C and we will cut it again. So this point is D. Now see, if I join this D to A, now look at this length AD. This length is root 2. This length is 1 unit because we have cut 1 unit only. So this is 1 unit. And this length is root 2 unit. If we apply Pythagoras theorem in this triangle ACD, so this length will come, AD will come root 3. It means the length of AD is root 3. Now we have to represent this length on number line. So again we will draw an arc. Step 7. Draw an arc. Draw an arc by taking center at A and radius equal to AD. With center at A, with center at A and radius equal to AD. Radius equal to AD. Intersecting the number line. Intersecting the number line at point P. Now we'll put the compass here, bring the pencil here and draw the arc like this. So it will intersect the number line at this point P. Now this point P represents root 3 because this length was root 3. So this length is also root 3 because we have drawn an arc. So this point P represents root 3. So point P is nothing but root 3. So point P represents required point root 3 or required number root 3. So this is the representation of root 3. This way we can represent all the irrational numbers, that is the square root of all numbers which are we can say integers. Their square root can be represented in this way on number line. There may be another method. So one more thing I would like to tell you all, that whatever the things we are discussing in these videos, you have to note down these things in your fair notebook. Representation of root 2, representation of root 3, you will note down all these things in your fair notebook. And whatever the examples are there related to these, I think root 2 and root 3, they are there in examples also in NCERT book. So these two things you have to do in your fair notebook. And whatever questions we will leave without doing in our exercises or some examples, that you have to do in your practice notebook. So I suggest you all to make two notebooks. One will be maths fair notebook and second will be maths practice notebook. In maths fair notebook, you are to do all the things which are explained in your video lectures. So you have to write all these things in your fair notebooks. And in practice notebook, you can practice the examples and the leftover questions of the exercises which we are not discussing, because the similar questions can be left out to be solved by you on your own. So those questions you have to do in your practice notebook. Now, one more method can be there. In short, we will discuss the methods to represent these numbers on number line. Let us see what could be that method. Now again we will see that if I draw a number line, if I draw a number line here, this is 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Now if I draw an arc, a ray perpendicular, I'll cut 1 unit, so this represent root 2. Again I draw perpendicular on it, perpendicular ray, I cut 1 unit from this, I join this, then this represents root 3. If I take another ray which is perpendicular to this one, suppose this one is 90 degree now, I cut 1 unit from this, so this will represent root 4. Again if I take perpendicular 1 unit I cut, this will represent root 5. Again perpendicular to this, cut 1 unit, this will represent root 6. This way we can represent the square root of any natural number or any integer on the number line by this method. One more method can be there. See, suppose this is the number line 1, 2, 3. If I draw perpendicular at this point, cut 1 unit, so this is root 2. I put the compass here, so this represents root 2. Now again draw perpendicular at this point, cut 1 unit, so this will represent root 3. This will be root 3. Again draw perpendicular at this point, perpendicular at this point root 3, cut 1 unit, so this will represent root 4 and root 4 is 2. Now again I am drawing perpendicular at this point, cut 1 unit, so this represents root 5. Again perpendicular at this point, cut 1 unit, so this will represent root 6. So this way also you can represent the square root of any integer on number line. So this method and this method both are same. If I have to represent from here, this arc, then this arc, root 2, root 3, this arc will represent root 4, this arc will represent root 5, this arc from here it will represent root 6. So this representation and this representation both are applicable. Any of the method you can use to represent the square root of integers on number line. So this way we can represent the irrational numbers on number line. Till now in class 8, class 7, class 6 we have discussed about representing the rational numbers or integers on number line. This is the representation of irrational numbers on number line. Now we will go with exercise 1.2. So what is that exercise? Let us see. Now I am taking the help of book to see the questions. Exercise 1.2. Exercise 1.2. First question is true, false, and we have to justify. So I am just reading out the statements from the book. Books of NCERT you can download from internet very easily. All the NCERT books are available. Even they are available on the CBSE official website. So you can download the NCERT books from there. So first, part 1. What is that? Every irrational number is real number. If you remember the flow chart of the real number, so real number include both rational and irrational. So every irrational number is a real number. First, this is true, because all the irrational numbers, that is root 2, root 3, root 5, root 7, they are all real numbers. Second, Second, I am reading the statement. Every point on the number line is of the form root m. Now try to understand this. Root m, where m is a natural number. M is a natural number. They are saying that all the points, if I put 0, 1, 2, 3, there are also many points on the number line. What is the statement? That all these points, this point, this point, this point, this point, this point, all the points on the number line, they are square root of any natural number. Because m is a natural number, it means this is square root of a natural number. It means all these points are the square root of natural numbers. No, that is not true. If I take square root of 1, then it's this point. Square root of 2, somewhere here it will come. Square root of, suppose this is root 1, this is root 2, this is root 3, this is root 4. Okay, but here also many points are there in between them. These points are not square root of any natural number. So the statement becomes false. Why it is false? Because this statement says that all the points are square root of any natural number, which is not true. There are points of which are the square root of rational numbers, but square root of natural numbers, but there are other points also which are not square roots of any natural number. So this statement becomes, answer for this will be false. Third statement, every real number is an irrational number. Every real number. Now if I say part 3, real numbers. So real numbers include both rational as well as irrational. In real number, both the numbers are there, rational numbers as well as irrational numbers. What they are saying, that every real number is irrational. That is not true. Real number can be rational, real number can be irrational also. So this statement becomes false. So every real number is irrational number. This statement is false. So answer for this is false. Now question number 2. Are the square roots irrational? The square root of all positive integers irrational? First question. So answer for this first part is no. The square root of all positive integers are not irrational. Some of them are irrational and some of them are rational. So answer no. The square roots of all the positive integers are not irrational. It means square root of all positive integers, some of them are irrational and some of them are rational. All are not irrational. If not, then give an example of the square root of the number that is irrational, that is rational. So we have to give some examples of square root of positive integers which are rational. Suppose because root 4 which is equal to 2, root 3, root 9 which is equal to 3, root 16 which is equal to 4 are rational numbers. Rational numbers. These are rational numbers. Suppose root of 4 is 2. So this is a rational number, square root of 4. It may be plus minus 2. So for instance, now we are taking only positive integers and positive roots only. So square root of 4 is 2. This is rational number. Square root of 9, this is 3. This is a rational number. Square root of 16, this is 4. This is a rational number. So now the square root of 5 will be irrational. Square root of 6 will be irrational. Square root of 7 will be irrational. So all the square roots are not irrational. Some of them are rational, some of them are irrational. So this is the answer for question number 2. Now question number 3. Show how root 5 can be represented on number line. So we have represented root 2, we have represented root 3. Similar way we will represent root 5 also. So let us represent root 5 on number line. These questions are to be done like construction questions. So you are to take your compasses, pencil, scale, and you are to draw the construction properly with accurate measurements. So now I am going to represent root 5. This is question number 3. Root 5 on number line. Question number 3. So again we will require some steps in that. So steps I am going to write here. First step, we will draw a number line. The best method to draw a number line, just draw a straight line, mark your 0 and open the compass as much as you want. And just keep the compass on 0 and keep on cutting the number line. This, then again this, then again this. It will not require any measurement. So all the gaps will be of equal size if you take the gaps with the help of your compasses. Okay. So this is 1, this is 2, this point is 3. Similarly, this side it will be minus 1 somewhere. Let it be this is minus 1. Now, this is a number line. So, first step, draw a number line and we have to take 2 points, A on 0 and B on 1. Draw a number line and take 2 points A and B on 0 and 1 respectively. Okay. So on 0 we have taken point A and on 1 we have taken point B. Okay. We are going to represent root 5. So no need to take the B on 1. Take B on 2 directly, because 2 represents root 4 and we have to go for root 5, so it is beyond 2. So directly take this B on 2. So I am just correcting it. Take 2 points A and B on 0 and 2, because directly we can go for root 4. Root 4 is 2. So beyond this we will start. Now next step will be the same. That draw a ray which is perpendicular to the number line. Let it be BX. Draw a ray BX perpendicular to the number line. Now we will draw an arc by taking radius as 1 unit and it will intersect the ray BX at point C. Third step, draw an arc with center at B and radius equal to 1 unit intersecting bx at point C. So I'll put the compass here on B. Open the compass up to 1 unit, this much. Put it on B and cut bx. So this point is C. So we can join this C to A. We will keep this line as dotted because this line is not the required line. So we can keep it as in dotted. So fourth step. Now we will put the compass on point A and we will open it up to C. It means we will draw again an arc by taking center at A and radius equal to AC. Again draw an arc. Draw an arc with center at A and radius equal to AC, A to C, intersecting the number line at point P. So now we will put the compass here on A, open it up to C and draw the arc. So it will intersect here somewhere at point P. So step 5, this point P is nothing but root 5. So point P represents the required number root 5. So this point is root 5. Okay. So for justification, we can justify this by applying Pythagoras theorem in triangle ABC. This length is 2, this length is 1. If we apply Pythagoras theorem, we will get this as root 5. So this length is root 5, it means AP length is also root 5 and P represents root 5. So this was question number 3. Question number 4, it is a classroom activity. As we have discussed, this is construction of square root spiral. Square root spiral, as I told you, that by taking, suppose this is a number line 0, 1, 2, draw perpendicular here, cut 1 unit, you will get this. Again perpendicular, cut 1 unit and join this. Again perpendicular, cut 1 unit, join it. Again perpendicular, then again cut 1 unit and join it. So this way you will keep on getting a spiral like structure this way. Keep on drawing perpendicular and cutting 1 unit. Again perpendicular to this, it will be somewhere here. Again 1 unit. Perpendicular to this, again 1 unit. So you will keep on, the shape you will get will be something like this. That is why it is called square root spiral. This is an activity which you can draw on a chart paper or a big sheet you can take for this. And I suggest you, for this activity you can take 1 unit equal to, let it be 5 centimeter, and take a chart complete A size and draw the square root spiral on that chart by taking 1 unit equal to 5 centimeter. It means 0 and then 5, at 5 centimeter we will write 1, at 10 centimeter we will write 2. This is called by taking 1 unit as 5 centimeter. So that's all in this exercise 1.2. Next exercise and the concepts related to that exercise we will discuss in next video. And again I repeat that the things which we are discussing in our video lectures, you are to note down in your notebooks in good handwriting, and some of the things you are to write in fair notebook and some of the things you are to write in practice notebook. The examples and the other things which are left in NCERT book, which we are not discussing here, these things you are to practice in your practice notebook. That's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day. Thank you.